Tell the waitress to take the extra plate away. My daughter isn't coming to this dinner. She is too busy celebrating a community college degree to join a real family celebration for her brother. My brother laughed and raised his glass. She will be begging us for a loan by Tuesday anyway. Little did they know I was not at graduation anymore. I was at a lawyer's office signing papers that would change their lives forever. My name is Cassidy, and I am 34 years old. I am a single mom who worked 2 jobs to survive. I worked as a dental assistant all day and did freelance typing at night. I did everything I could to put my daughter through school. My family always saw me as the struggling one. I was the daughter who stayed in her hometown and wore thrift store clothes. I drove a beat-up sedan while my brother traveled the world on my parents' dime. He was the favorite who could do no wrong. They thought I was drowning in debt and desperation. I was not rich or glamorous like they pretended to be. I lived a quiet life and kept my head down. But I had something they did not expect. I had a backbone of steel. I also had a paper trail they had completely forgotten existed. I was ready to use it. If your family made you feel like you weren't enough because you didn't have a fancy title or a big bank account, subscribe to this community. Drop your story below. You are not alone. I am reading every single one. Let's go, click hype or like. The graduation day for my daughter Lily should have been perfect. She was graduating at the top of her class. I invited my parents 3 months in advance so they could be there. On the morning of the ceremony, my father called me. He did not even apologize for what he was about to do. He told me they were heading to the city instead. Your brother got a junior VP role and we are throwing him a gala. We cannot miss that for a 2-hour ceremony in a gym. I told him that Lily was heartbroken and crying. He just snapped at me. She is a grown woman, Cassidy. Stop being so dramatic. It is not like she is graduating from Harvard. We will send a $50 check in the mail later. They hung up on me. That afternoon, they posted photos of their celebration on Facebook. The air smelled like expensive perfume and steak in their pictures. They tagged every relative except for us. It was like we did not exist to them. They erased us from their successful image while Lily walked across that stage alone. I felt a cold bitterness growing in my chest as I watched the likes pour in on their post. The weeks that followed were even worse. My parents own the modest duplex where I live with Lily. They sent me a formal notice in the mail. They were raising my rent by 40%. They said they needed to help fund a new condo down payment for my brother. A week later, we were at a birthday party for my cousin. My mother stood in the middle of the room and started talking loudly. She told everyone that I was financially illiterate. She said they had to manage me like a child because I could not handle my own life. Everyone laughed at me. I felt the heat in my face as I stood by the punch bowl. Then my brother called me. He wanted me to cash in a loan for a new luxury car. He claimed his credit was tied up in big investments. I told him no. When my parents found out, they were furious. They threatened to evict me and Lily immediately. They called me ungrateful for everything they had ever done for me. They said I was a failure who did not deserve their help. What they did not know was that I had a secret. For the last 5 years, I had been handling the digital archiving for my grandfather's estate. I was the only one who cared enough to organize his old files before he passed away. I had a plan they never saw coming. While they were busy looking down on me, I was looking through the folders they thought were lost forever. I spent my nights reading through scanned documents and old bank letters. I found the original ledgers from decades ago. These papers proved the truth about our family history. My father had not actually earned the family home or his savings. He had embezzled the funds from a trust that was meant for all the grandchildren. He stole the money that was supposed to pay for Lily's education. He used it to fund his own lifestyle and my brother's whims. The evidence was all there in black and white. They had forgotten that I was the one who held the keys to the past. I was not the weak person they thought I was. I knew I could not do this alone, so I found an ally. I went to see Mr. Henderson. He was an old family lawyer who had been forced into retirement years ago. My father had bullied him and ruined his reputation to keep him quiet. Mr. Henderson met me in secret at a small coffee shop. He had been waiting for years for someone to bring him this evidence. His eyes lit up when he saw the ledgers I had found. He helped me draft the trust restoration documents in secret. We worked for days to make sure everything was legal and tight. Meanwhile, my parents grew more arrogant every day. They thought they had already won the war against me. My father sent me one final text message that made my blood run cold. He told me to pack my bags by the first of the month. He said they had sold the duplex to my brother. He said it was time I learned to survive on my own without their charity. They thought they had finally cleared the dead weight from their lives. The meeting was set at a high-end law office downtown. My parents walked in wearing their best clothes. They thought they were there for the final sale of my duplex to my brother. They were smiling and talking about their next vacation. I walked in and the room went silent. I was not carrying a suitcase for moving out. I was walking with Mr. Henderson. I walked up to the mahogany table and dropped the 1998 ledgers right in front of my father. He looked at them and scoffed. "What is this, Cassidy? Is this some kind of scrapbooking project?" Mr. Henderson did not smile. He told them it was a forensic audit of the family trust. He explained that my father had diverted $450,000. He showed the proof of gambling debts and the money used for my brother's first apartment. My mother turned pale. I looked her right in the eye. I told her the duplex was not theirs to sell. According to the original trust terms, the property ownership reverted to the beneficiaries the moment the rules were broken. That means me and Lily own it now. I told them they had 30 days to vacate the main house. If they didn't leave, we would see them in criminal court for embezzlement. The fallout was fast and brutal. My brother's junior VP role vanished overnight. The news of the family scandal hit his firm's human resources department, and they let him go. My parents were forced to move into a tiny rental across town. They finally realized that their wealth was just a house of cards built on lies. I did not take the money or the house for revenge. I took it to secure a future for my daughter. I wanted to keep the home they tried to kick us out of. I finally felt a sense of peace in my own living room. They spent my whole life trying to make me feel small and worthless. They never realized that the person they ignored was the only one who knew the truth. I was the one who could have saved them, but they chose to burn the bridge instead. Now Lily and I are starting over on our own terms. We are finally free from their shadows and their lies. If your family ever tried to take away your security or treated you like you didn't deserve a seat at the table, you know how much that stings. Subscribe and share your story in the comments. How did you stand your ground? I want to hear about your wins. Click hype to help this story reach others who need to know they have power too. Your story has power. If you felt a connection to mine, please subscribe and share your journey in the comments. Every hype you give this video helps empower someone else. Thank you for being here and for listening.